Hi, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, my name is Rachel. I own and operate Turn of the Century Antiques, which is a doll shop out here in Denver, Colorado, and I created the virtual doll convention. And on my channel, we do all kinds of doll things, literally all kinds of doll things, from day in the life videos here at the shop to we have done so many things around the world and across the country, and sometimes we have collaborators and fun things that we do together. So I'd love to have you on every video. I'm so glad you're here. Most of you that are here, we go way back, don't we? Yeah, we go way back, and it is so nice when we can do this and just sit down and chat just like friends do and just have a little chat. So I got my tea here. Derek will kill me for not drinking out of one of his mugs, but that's okay. His mugs are amazing, but I need to get a smaller one for here at the shop because all the ones that I have that are his are huge, and I love a big mug, but today I just kind of wanted a smaller little cup of tea because cinnamon tea is so good. It is 8 degrees out here in Colorado right now. And I personally really like the snow. I enjoy cold weather. I like bundling up in cozy clothes and blankets and shoes and jackets and boots, and it's just kind of my jam. I like it better than being hot and sweaty in the summer. I really like summer fashion and dresses and being cool and comfortable and wearing my hair in braids out of my face, and I guess I do that in the winter too. But I don't know, I like being cozy and having tea and just feeling all bundled up. In the comments, let me know are you more of a winter person, a summer person? I know a lot of you travel and go different places to avoid the weather or because you want the weather, but I'm a Colorado girl, born and raised here in Colorado, and I love it. So we're here because I want to chat with you about something that has been brought up a lot. We've had a lot of questions about our sweet Holland Diane's name. So if you're really new here, I had my first child, a little baby girl, on November 11th, 2021 of last year. And I am just thrilled just over the moon, however you put it, and I do put it in words a lot on my page if you follow me. I make it look really good on social media, but it's even better in real life. It's even better than it looks for me. I love being a mom. Holland Diane is just an absolute treasure. I didn't know how it was gonna go in so many ways. Just my birth and bringing her here and juggling both and being a mom, and I thought about it a lot, and I just had to quit thinking about it because there was just so many variables and so many different people of my friends had different experiences. And when I talk about motherhood and when I talk about what I do and what I love and how it's working for me, it's only my experience. I want to chat a lot about it, and I know there are a lot of younger people that are watching, and I know that you come here a lot for dolls, but if there's any aspect of my life that you're curious about or you want to know about, I'm always really happy to share. And the whole having a child piece is a piece of my puzzle that I am so thankful to integrate right now and to have as part of my overall story of doing dolls. My mother owned and operated this store, this company that I grew up in. She moved in here 33 years ago. I am 36 now. And before that, she had a much smaller location on the same block, just right up the street. And that my brother owns now, and she has rented out all these years after she moved here. Recently, I found a box of pictures of my dad and my brothers and the people that she had hired when they made this place what it is today, and when they painted the floors, the marble painting that it has, and all the cool things that they did. And there was pictures of her pregnant, and oh my gosh, I found so many great pictures. They were all like Polaroids, and it was so good to have them. I'd love to share those with you someday, of the signs going up and the painting. It's been several different things over the years, but it was a funeral home, not where they kept like bodies or anything like that, but it was the place where you go to plan things. And it was like a big office. It was a big office before that, and I forgot the name of it. But for years after she moved in, she still got a lot of calls of people wanting to plan funerals and stuff like that. But anyway, I'm here because we're chatting right now. It's so cute. I can hear Stanley dancing for Holland Diane back there. He's entertaining her. He's helping with tummy time. It's so funny right now. Well, it's not so funny. This is our real life. So right now we do doll stuff and baby stuff, and it's equal importance. I have to remind Stanley that if he's helping me with the baby, if he's entertaining her, or if he's doing something that allows me to say, come and chat with you right now, that is just as important as anything else he can be doing. And Stanley has been on our team way before I was born, and he helped raise me. So it's just amazing to see him with her, and I love it. But let's chat about her name. I've received a lot of questions about her name, and her name is Holland Diane Redding. We had a hard time picking out her name in the beginning, just as I think most people are. I think that either it's easy and you just find a name and it's just all good, or you really think about it a lot. I didn't think about it a ton in the beginning because I'm a worrier, and I didn't want to get too, if something was gonna go wrong, that I didn't want to get too attached, basically. I had a lot of the anxieties that any mother has, any mother. But once we got further along, that's when we started kind of chatting about names. And I came up with several names, and Derek really didn't like them. He came up with several names. I really didn't like any of those. And it's kind of funny because you think a lot about a name before you even bring it up to your partner usually. And then when they're like automatically they don't like it, it's like, oh, but I worked so hard thinking of that name. And one of the names that he worked so hard thinking of, I just did not like at all. I just knew it was not going to be the name of our daughter. And Holland is a very unique name. It is actually a very old name, and it is very popular in Europe, and it is a unisex name, so it can be girls or boys. But every Holland that I've ever met or heard of is a female, but I think and I've seen it as a lot of last names too, and middle names, but I think it's so beautiful. And when I was getting my hair done, my hairstylist, Josh, we were talking about TV shows that we are watching and just different actresses and things that were happening on Netflix. And we were talking about one of the shows, and he brought up the actress Holland Taylor. And Holland Taylor is a very classic lady. She's a great television actress. She's had an incredible career. I'm going to post a couple pictures of her so you can see what she looks like, and you'll probably recognize her. She was on The Practice, and she was in movies, and she's just had such a great career. He was just talking, and he said, oh, Holland Taylor. And then he just kept talking, and I just sat there in the chair while getting my hair done. And I thought, that's it. Holland Taylor. It just sounded like such a beautiful name. It sounded like a name that could take her places. It sounded Holland. We didn't do the Taylor part, but I love Taylor too. But it just sounded like the name that could be anything that she wanted to be in life. And I thought it was unique, but not too unique to where I thought about a lot of things. I didn't want her being made fun of in school. I didn't want people not being able to pronounce it. Things like that. I wanted something that was, if you saw it on paper, you understood how to pronounce it, and it was something that I wanted to be really beautiful. And so I thought about that, and so I Googled it, and I looked it up, so anyway, I came home and I said, Derek, what do you think about the name Holland? And I saw a little light bulb kind of go off, and he was like, that sounds pretty cool. And for Derek, that was the first time he had seen. The only one that he liked close to Holland was Ava. We really liked the name Ava as well. But Holland was the one that he liked the most. And I said, I think Holland is such a great name. And we had already said way back in the very beginning that her middle name would be Diane, who is my mother. My mother right up there, you can see her in the picture, and then that's me sitting right next to her at 1 year old. I cannot wait to recreate that. That picture was taken when she was in a magazine article, and all of those things are still in my parents' house next door to where I live, where we took that. So all of that is there. Some of the dolls are here, but I'm gonna totally recreate that when Holland Diane is 1 year old. So I call her, when we're home and we're talking about Holland, we do just say Holland. Can you change Holland's diaper? Holland's appointment is on Thursday. When I'm with her, I say Holland Diane a lot. When I'm on social media and when I'm talking about her, I say Holland Diane a lot. So I say her first and her middle name because it reminds me of my mom. My mom wanted grandchildren more than she wanted anything. That was her biggest thing, is she just loved children. She donated to all kinds of organizations that help children. She loved babies. She was so good with children and babies, and she loved her family more than anything and her children more than anything. And it was never for me, I would have, it makes me weep to know that she's not gonna, in the physical sense, meet and know her granddaughter. But over the years, just as I was growing up and even in my 20s, it was just never the right time. I was never with the right partner. I never was with the right man that I thought it would be a good decision. I never had the situation where I wanted to at that time. I spent a lot of time traveling. I spent a lot of wonderful time building my career and taking courses and going to college and just doing so many things. And I know that it was right for me to wait, but she mentioned it a lot. And I have a much older brother, and she just always thought it would happen, and it never did. But when I look at Holland Diane, I see my mom so much in her, especially when she smiles or smirks. My mom had these wonderful dimples, and Holland has them. And so I say Holland Diane because it makes me feel closer to my mom. And so online, a lot of you refer to her as Holland Diane. A lot of you refer to her as Holland, and whatever you want to do is good. I love it. Let me know what you think. If you don't love it, don't let me know. Because that's not helpful. But if you do love it, then let me know, because it's a hard thing to do, and I didn't tell hardly anybody before I did it because I didn't want anybody to say I don't like the name and to get it like in my head. Because you know how when you say something to somebody, they go, ooh, or and that can kind of get in your head. I told my cousins really early on, right when we were kind of kicking around the name Holland, and they loved it. And just the few people that I did run it past, mostly they loved it. A few of them were like, Holland, like the country? Like, is that a name? One funny thing is that Derek currently has a student who is a dentist, and she's like a really awesome gal, and her name is Holland. So if you've ever met a Holland, let me know. If you know a Holland, let me know. I personally have never met a Holland, but I've heard of them, and then of course the actress. So that's where that came from, and I just could not be happier with her name. I think it's so beautiful. My sweet, sweet Holland Diane. She has just been exactly what I needed. When my mom passed away, I was she had gone through Alzheimer's for many years. And in the last year, it became really, really, really bad. And we did everything every day, and I still had a beautiful relationship with my mom up until the very end, even after she couldn't talk, even after she was not anything of the person of the amazing go-getter, doll, oracle, just kick-butt lady that she was, that all of you, if you knew her, remember her as. Even when she wasn't that, I still had a beautiful relationship with her up until the very end. But when she went to heaven, I felt so lost. I just felt lost. I felt like a lost child or a lost puppy. And I was doing at the time awesome things with my career. I was selling dolls. I was making videos. I was making really good decisions, doing all kinds of great things. So it's not like I was sitting at home feeling lost. I just felt lost. And even still, it'll be 2 years in April of this year. Even still, sometimes I'll have a dream where she's in it, and then I have to kind of come to the realization that she's not here when I wake up, or sometimes in the dream she came back. There's all kinds of just things that your mind does. And some days I can, and most days I'm good, and I can think about her and talk about her and smile and be happy. And then there's some days, which I know this is normal, and if this is happening to you, this is normal, where it just takes your breath away, and you just have that moment. And the thing that brings me back every single time is gratitude. Gratitude that I got to have such an incredible mom. Gratitude that I have a healthy, beautiful daughter. When I was pregnant with her, I was not on edge a lot. I tried to just stay super calm and just happy, because I wanted her to feel that I was calm and happy, and I kept any imaginable stress away from me that I possibly could. And I really just wanted to have a very calm pregnancy, which I did. But a few times, and I talked about this a lot in my posts when I was pregnant, she didn't move that much in my womb. I didn't feel like, I felt moving and kicking and things, and every day I felt something, but I didn't feel like a lot of the moving and kicking and jumping and this and back and forth and throwing your arms up. And I didn't feel any of that a lot of my friends and people that I had followed on social media described. And there was a few times I was crying in the doctor's office just because I didn't think I was having the experience that I was supposed to have, and I worried that something was wrong. I never truly thought something was wrong, but I worried. So I carried around this little card, and it just had a little prayer on it, and it was just a very simple prayer, and I prayed it a lot. And all I wanted was a healthy baby, and it is exactly what I got. She's just everything that I needed to help me feel not so lost. I think I put a lot of that love that was welling up and boiling up inside of me after my mom died. I went to heaven. I like to say that better, or passed away. I hate that. Sometimes I just hate saying died. But after she left, when you really love somebody, you have a lot of love that just kind of needs somewhere to go, I think. And so for me, that's what I did. And you can pour your love into so many different things. You can pour it into animals. You can pour it into your hobby. You can pour it into your dolls. You can pour it into a new love. If your spouse passed away, maybe a new friendship. There's so many different ways. And that's a big reason why I understand doll culture, is because I understand how much love and emotion and thought and time and energy goes into dolls, and how much more they mean than just something on the shelf. So I have been pouring all that love that was welling up inside of me and kind of ready to explode into having a daughter, and it's been great. I take her to work, and we came back to work at 10 days postpartum. Can you believe that? But it wasn't like, oh, I need to go back to work. It was like, I can't wait to bring her to this shop and show her around and walk her through those doors, and we'll stay for a little bit and see how well I can do, and then we'll call it a day. It was like that. Will I ever slip back into those clothes? Maybe never. I mean, I don't know. It's just, it's going to be what it's going to be. And my body is going to change forever. I got stretch marks. I got my incision, scar, and all kinds of things. And I just, as long as I'm healthy and taking good care of her and I feel good, I don't care about any of those things. And I can get, you know, clothes that fit my body now. That's one of the things that I've done as well, is gotten clothes that fit my body now and feel good and feel comfortable now, even 40 pounds heavier than I was. So I hear Miss Thing crying. So I'm gonna go get her, and why don't we continue our conversation? I actually filmed again earlier with her and the camera wasn't on. So now we're doing it again. But earlier in the last take that you're not gonna see, she was fussing and crying, and it was actually really cute and funny. Not funny, but you know what I mean. It was like cute. Sometimes when I see her, I call them grumpy lips, when she does her grumpy lips, where she'll just be sitting there just all happy and then suddenly just gets real grumpy. It's funny. Oh, did you just wake up? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. So she's wrapped in my sweater. I wear a lot of long cardigans because I know I'm talking loud. I wear a lot of long cardigans because I can wrap her up in them. Oh, let's just stay cozy. Let's stay cozy. And we can stay cozy. Yeah. So she has a little bald spot on the back of her head that almost all babies get just from laying down. When she can hold her head up, that's when she'll be able to grow in her luscious long locks. But right now we just got a little bit. So like I said earlier, she's 12 weeks today in this video, and she was fussing earlier when I was just chatting with you, and I went back and Stanley was warming up her milk. It was so sweet. Stanley's so good and protective of her. We love having her. She's like, you know how like in offices sometimes they'll have a therapy cat or like a relaxation animal, and she's like that for us. We just look at her and she just takes the edge off sometimes of like a stressful day. Let's see if I can turn around and you can see what she's doing. There she is. I'm self-filming this, so hopefully it's in focus. So yeah, life has changed for me in a lot of ways. For the better. None of it has changed for the worse. Things are different now for me. My content is different. I share a lot of what's going on in the shop, and I share a lot of my personal journey. The biggest reason is because this is what's happening in my life right now. I'm not traveling. I'm not going across the country. I'm not going across the world. I'm not going to doll shows. I love doll shows. I love traveling. I love going to people's houses and doing all of those things, but it's just not happening for me right now. We had the pandemic, and then just with my baby, I can't imagine leaving her right now. She's just so little and she needs me all the time. Her daddy helps, but I'm definitely her main, I'm her main gal, and she's with me all the time. The only time I've ever been away from her is to get, I've gone for pedicures once, which I'm gonna go tomorrow, and just a few times I've slipped out to get groceries while Derek had her, but I've never been away from her for more than, I think 2 hours was the longest, and I don't want to be. So I sometimes think about the future and what we're going to do together, and I think about, because my mom and I, we traveled the world, and we went to doll shows, and we did doll stuff together all the time. It's some of my favorite memories, and it's how we bonded, and I worked really hard with her at doll shows, and we just had such a great relationship and adventures with the doll thing. So if she wants to do doll things, then I'm excited to do that with her. If she wants to do ceramics with her dad, I think that would be amazing. If she wants nothing to do with it and to do whatever she wants to do, I'm so excited to see the person that she's going to become. I'm not going to force anything on her with dolls or anything, clothing. I just really want her to just figure out what she likes to do and to do it and to just have her own journey. I will be there to lead the way. I will be there to help guide her and teach her right from wrong and do all the wonderful things that parents should do. But I'm not gonna lay any guilt into her or expect anything like with the company and with the dolls. But if she did want to do all those things, I think it would be amazing. I think if I was able to keep this company going for that long to where she could work here or even take it over one day, I mean, how awesome would that be? Right now we're multi-generational because my grandma was a doll collector, but she was not a business owner. So I guess you could call it on the second generation of the doll shop. But if we had a third generation, that'd be really, really neat. But I hope I can continue to be in the doll business and to do what I do and to sell dolls and afford to be here and keep this place and keep everything and do everything. I try really hard I manage my money extremely well. I try to make really good decisions, and I think a lot about everything that I do. Sometimes when I buy stuff, I worry, which is like any person that's in the doll industry that does what we do, and you think, oh, did I pay too much for that, or how am I going to sell that, or just you think of so many things. And so it's a huge part of how I do it is just going with my gut and making sure that I'm just doing the best that I can with the situation I'm in. And do I always get it right? No, I don't always get it right. Sometimes I get it wrong. And one thing that I am pretty good at is recognizing that immediately, rectifying it, owning up to it, saying I'm sorry. I used to not be as good about that. I used to just kind of want to go to war in any situation, especially when I was younger, like in my 20s. And now I sit and I think about things a little bit more now. A lot a bit more, most of the time. Oh, oh. You know how when they're like they're ooey gooey from napping? We call it when she's ooey gooey. She's just so sweet. She was really fussing, but she just needed to be held. You can't hold and cuddle a baby too much. I don't worry about what anybody says. I do everything just totally instinctual and what I feel like she needs. And there's a million ways to raise a baby right. There's a million ways to parent a child right. And she's just gonna be fine. We're gonna be fine. I really love when we can have these chats, and so I appreciate you being here and chatting with me. And every time I talk a little loud, she kind of does this thing. But this was really, really nice. I hope we can do this more often. I know I kind of covered a lot of things, but if there's anything else that you have questions about or you want me to chat about in the next video, just drop them in the comments. I would love your ideas. It's always fun to share and to chat things. I have all kinds of ideas of things that I would like to share in the future and chat about. I know a lot of people that watch our videos are budding business owners, and so I thought it might be fun to just talk about that aspect and that side of it and what it's like when I do things like when I share some of the harder parts about owning a brick and mortar store or whatever, such as like my tax bill. That is meant to be inspirational in the way that to say that you can do it. You can do it. I had had lots of times, believe me, where I thought, can I even afford to do this at all? Can I keep it as a doll shop and pay the taxes and pay the heat, and just because we're a commercial building, everything is more expensive. Our internet is $385 because we're commercial. Just our heat, because it's such a huge building and it's Colorado and it gets really cold, it's like $400 a month. Someday I don't know what's going to happen here, but who knows? But right now I'm so grateful that I don't have to, and I can just enjoy them every day and remember all the good times with my mom and how much she adored these dolls and her big Santas. It's kind of hard to see Santa. Let's see if we can show you Santa. There's Santa. We have two. Let's see if we can get, here's the other one. Those Santas are 6 feet tall. They're made by Rosemary Volpe. If you're interested in the Santas and you don't know about them, then just type Volpe, V-O-L-P-I, on my channel and you can see the interview that I did with the artist. It's such a great video. So anyway, I love you guys and thank you for chatting with me today. I've been wanting to do this for so long and it feels so good to just catch up. And we'll see you on the next video. Bye.